This is the first fully electric four-wheel drive in Australia.
Oh God. Oh, I am nervous, Matty.
The F150 Ford Lightning. We want to find out if it has what it takes to tow the biggest boats in Australia in some of the toughest conditions. American truck versus American truck. Will this one have the range, and how much petrol will the big thirsty guzzler actually use?
It's not my fuel, so I'm going to use heaps of your fuel.
We've stacked the odds against it. This is the biggest boat you can tow behind the F150 Lightning. It's on 35-inch tyres, and we've chosen the most mountainous route we can to head to our destination. So cross your fingers, cross your toes. We're going to see if we can get this thing home without having to stop at a charger. Will it make it, or will it let us down? Well, let's find out. Okay guys, well here we go. We are at Explore HQ. We're just gearing up at the moment. So we got the two vehicles. We got the two MASTERCRAFTs on the back. I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of exactly what we've got. So we do have the Ram. It is the Rebel. It's the 1500. It's got the 5.7 litre Hemi V8 petrol. This thing is thirsty as all buggery. We'll find out just how thirsty at the end of this little weekend. It is running the 35-inch tyres as well, guys. Sort of trying to do an apples for apples, American truck versus American truck. So over here we've got the F150 Lightning. Now the pressure is on. Can the Lightning actually tow your 3.5 ton boat away for the weekend? I'm pretty excited to see how this thing tows. Given the amount of torque this has, I think it's actually going to be a towing dream. The big question on our mind and everyone else's mind is, will we be able to get out there and back? We do have potentially powered campsite out there to charge it up. Will we need to stop on the way there? Will we need to stop on the way back? These are all the questions that we're going to try and answer in this tow test. Now look, we didn't want to go and put a little tinny behind this or a little lightweight Jayco. We went to the extreme. So this one's got the 3.5 ton tow capacity. We've pretty much maxed it out. Big 22-foot MASTERCRAFT. It's going to be extremely interesting to see how it goes. Will this one have the range, and how much petrol will the big thirsty guzzler actually use? Let's rip in, let's get these things hooked up and find out. The man with all the toys, Rhino, how you going, mate?
Good, guys. Ryan here from Gold Coast MASTERCRAFT. I've got the XT23, NXT22. We got loaded up and we're going to head out to Moogerah.
Pretty excited, guys. Nothing better than a weekend out on the wake boats with the whole crew. So we're going to load all the gear in now. Speaking of gooses, look what the cat dragged in.
Right on, kid.
Barry, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
All right, well, when we got all the toys, we need all the accessories to go with it. Barry, what are you loading us up with?
Well, getting hooked up today, mate. You were a ex-barefoot water skier. I guess the old joints can't handle it anymore, so we've given some on-top-of-water activities. We got some boards, surfers, wakeboards, jackets, foils, the whole caboodle. Load you up for the weekend.
So I literally rung Barry yesterday. He owns Pro Wake down on the Gold Coast. So I was like, we're taking the MASTERCRAFTs out, Barry. We need some toys. So he's loading us up with all the goodies for the weekend, all the jackets, everything you need for a weekend away. Let's go, Rhino. Thanks, Barry. Hey, short notice, mate. Looked after you.
I'm going to go and work. This is brutal.
Yeah, and well, yeah, I gave him an invite, but he's actually got to go to work. You have a good day.
I'd rather work, to be honest.
Thanks,
than
mate.
Spend time with you.
See ya. We don't want Barry here anyway. All right, let's get these things loaded up. We're out of here. Final little load up. We are bringing along the 2500. The big girl is the camera car slash I got the rooftop tent as me bed. Yeah, the Bush Company. We got the girls in the Lightning. Howdy, howdy. We got Rhino. Mate, you've got the big V8 petrol.
It's not my fuel, so I'm going to use heaps of your fuel.
Mate, you got to keep up first. This thing's quick.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
All right, we're out of here. Let's go. Okay, guys, so I've just jumped into the Lightning now. I haven't done this before, but this seems like a pretty cool feature. It says trailer connection detected. So we're going to add a new trailer, call it MASTERCRAFT. Enter, yep, continue setup. So it's electric over hydraulic. You can set the trailer braking effort. Now, obviously being electric, we want to rejuvenate on some of the downhills and use the car to do some braking. So we don't need to set it as high. We can set it as medium. Then, guys, it asks for the length. So it's about 7.5 meters, 7.6 meters. Width, we are at 2.4 meters. Height, weight, we are at 340, about 3.4 ton is pretty close. Enter, confirm. Now, we are at 494 kilometers. I've driven it from my house to work. So we've used up, it started at 519 kilometers of range. Whoa! Hang on to your hats. It's changed the range from 500 down to 250 kilometers. That is what you call a spanner in the works. It did say it needs to calibrate. This could be interesting. We've got 130 kilometers between here and Moogerah, 260 kilometers, which is bang on the range it says. So I'm gonna go with the old fingers crossed. That range is not quite accurate. Hopefully we get a little bit more out of that. It's a little bit scary, but that's what we're here to find out. Very cool that you can actually preset all of your different trailers, and at least it gives you an indication so that you can plan your trip accordingly. Another thing that I really do need to mention straight away, guys, is this one has 35-inch tires put on it. Standard, they're about a 32-inch tire, somewhere there. I'd probably recommend leaving your vehicle if you were to buy a Lightning on 33s. This one was obviously to look good and a bit of a showpiece, so we've gone to a 35-inch tire. You're probably looking at about 18 to 20% of range already eliminated with the bigger tires. So we were gonna do it on a factory Lightning, but we thought, you know what? People are probably gonna throw 33s, 35-inch tires on them, so let's do it with the 35s. So I've already lost about 20% of my range with 35-inch tires, and now we're towing the big heavy boat. But this is what we're here to find out. Enough mucking around. It's a hot sunny day. Let's get up to Moogerah. Let's get these boats in the drink and let's see how this big thing feels towing. First thing you notice is nothing. You cannot feel this boat on the back at all like your standard cars. It feels exactly the same throttle control as normal, which is really weird. Acceleration is the same as when you've got nothing on the back. This is actually a tower's dream. When everyone says, yeah, I got me big car and I can't even feel what I'm towing on the back, everyone likes to exaggerate slightly, but with this, you really can't feel it on the back. Holy. Now, obviously, as much as I just want to put my foot down and see how fast I can tow, I'm gonna try and keep it nice and cruisy, pretend I've had this car for a while and I'm used to the fact that it absolutely hauls ass. Tow it like a normal human so we can get a good read on what range it's actually gonna do. Let's see how we go. All right, Rhino, well, we've just headed out through the back of Canungra there, a few good hills. How's the Rebel going?
Mate, the big Ram Rebel is loving it. We've got, you know, close to 3.5 ton with this MASTERCRAFT XT23, rolling through the hills, sitting at about 13.31 litres per 100. It stops, it starts, it's doing everything that the truck like this should.
Mate, I am blown away by this thing. Obviously, I've towed some big vans and whatnot behind the Rebel, including Lofty's big 3.5 ton boat. The Ram, you obviously got to put your boot into it, and you can hear it revving away in 30 litres per 100. This thing here is insane. I cannot feel any hills. It drives like you're driving a normal car, but I've got the 3.5 ton boat on the back. I reckon I've touched the brake probably 3 times, because when you're coming down the hills, it's got that one pedal. So as soon as you lift your foot off that accelerator, it's already slowing the car down, and that's giving you the regenerative braking. Man, this thing is a tow machine.
And the technology that's in that car is just going to be an absolute game changer. So let's see how this, how many Ks we get out of it. But from everything you're saying, I'm pretty jealous that I'm in the Rebel, and I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, I remember after we took this away for a weekend, I hopped back in the Rebel, and my exact words were like, this is the shittest car I've ever driven. And the Rebel is no slouch. So we're currently done 27.5 kilometers, and I've gone from 250 kilometers down to 212. So we are using quite a bit of battery at the moment, which is a little bit concerning, but yeah, let's see how we go.
If in doubt, mate, we'll chuck the snatch strap out and give you a pull.
Hopefully we don't need it. I know we're gonna make it there, it's just how much charge we're gonna have to come back. So I'd really like to see this thing go there and back. We do have I think we've got a powered campsite tonight, so we might just plug it in overnight while we're sleeping, which is what you do at all your caravan parks, and most of the places you're heading away for a weekend have powered campsites. So I guess it's no different to plugging your van in, except you're plugging your car in.
Well, when we were out in the boats this afternoon, we'll give it a good charge and then we'll be good to go.
Sounds good, mate. All right, I'll see you out there.
Wouldn't be a wildfire with a lightless flame. Wouldn't be a born to run that finally wants to stay. Wouldn't know it's hard I have to hold someone and not hold back. There's a lot of me I wouldn't be without you.
All right, well, we are getting closer. We are almost at the dam, guys. I'm not going to give you too much away. We've used a little bit more than I was hoping, to be completely honest. We had a bit of a shock and run. We've been stuck behind some really slow cars, but all in all, the whole driving experience has been incredible. It is without a doubt the nicest car I've ever towed anything with, caravan, big boat, whatever it might be. I challenge anyone to jump in and have a look. This is an incredible driving experience for towing a massive load on the back.
Wouldn't be a wildfire with a lightless flame. Wouldn't be a born to run that finally wants to stay. Wouldn't know it's hard I have to hold someone and not hold back. There's a lot of me that wouldn't be without you.
All right, just coming over the hill now. Doesn't get any better than this. It is an absolute bluebird day. The water is a dead set glass out. When we say we're heading away for a weekend, to be honest with you, it's a Monday. So there is no one camped on the banks, and it is an absolute glass out. There's no boats throwing chop. This is what dreams are made of. Pretty excited to get these Mastercrafts off, get them in the drink. I'll run you through how we're going with range and bits and pieces when we pull up. Just to show you where we're at, but we made it. We've made it here on one charge, that's for damn sure. What a day, what a spot, Moogerah Dam. It is as good as it gets. Let's get in the water. All right, guys, so I've made it. We are here. Now, we've actually had a whole group of people not be able to make it, being the Monday. So we're only really gonna need one boat in the water for our crew. So we're gonna park this boat up. We're gonna put the one that's behind the Rebel in the drink. So total kilometers, guys, we did 135 kilometers from my work to here. Now, we have chewed quite a bit of juice. It's saying we've got an 85 kilometer range heading back. I reckon you're basically good for about 200 kilometers of towing range on the big 3.5 ton Mastercraft on the back. Rough math. You had 500, we're down to 200. So if you're down to about 40%, probably use 60% extra battery towing the big Mastercraft. Now on the Rebel, we went from 15 litres per 100 up to 31 litres per 100. So you've doubled your fuel usage on the Rebel towing the big boat, and obviously with all the hill climbs and the windy roads. And we've just over doubled the battery usage on the F150 Lightning. Now, we've rocked up here. There's a couple of options. There's a campsite. There's a couple of powered campsites at the top. We did have one of them booked. However, the camping down on the water is absolutely beautiful, and it's definitely where I prefer to camp. Now, as we come in, they told me up the top here, they actually have a charge station where most of the Teslas that come out here, there's a little undercovered area that you can pull in and just charge your vehicle. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna unhook the Mastercraft here. We're set up here for the night. Normally, if you're here for a weekend, it'd be exactly the same. This car would sit here and not move. So we're just gonna go and park the EV car under that little hut there, plug it in. That way we get the nice waterfront camping without having to be up in the powered campsite with the caravanners up there. Much prefer being down here. We'll let that charge overnight while we're mucking around. We'll wake up tomorrow morning. We'll see how it goes. Right now, we're about 40 kilometers short of getting back home. So we don't need a lot of charge. If we wanted to leave the car parked here we've got more than enough range to get from here back to Bow Desert, where there is a fast charger. We could stop for lunch and charge it up there. But in the overall convenience, parking the car up there and not having to stop on the way home is a far better option. So we're gonna go park the car up there and we're into it. Time to have a little bit of fun. But overall, guys, I really cannot stress how good this whole driving experience was. Just the drivability of that one pedal, accelerator on, de-accelerate as you're coming down hills. I reckon I touched the brake 4 times, and most of that was just if there was traffic. Otherwise, you barely need to touch the brakes, so you're not using bugger all of your brakes, and just the overall driving experience is insane. If they could manage to put this one pedal driving system into your petrol cars and had some sort of hybrid regenerative petrol option, I don't know, but just the overall feel of the one pedal drive with the electronic power or torque that this thing has is insane. Anyway, it's done its job. We're out here. As long as this thing can put us enough charge to get home tomorrow, all in all, it's an absolute win. Let's get in the water. It is absolute glass out there. When you're plugging it into a 240 volt, it is a really slow charge time. But we're at 36%. We're only 40 kilometers short of getting home. Fingers crossed that we get enough charge overnight that we should be able to get back. Job done. Let's get in the water. Let's go wakeboarding. And then tomorrow morning, we'll wake up with a surprise and find out if we've got enough power to get home. But I'm pretty confident. What do you mean you can win a HILUX for free? I hope you're enjoying the episode, guys, but it's finally here. This month's giveaway on the Dream platform is the mighty giveaway HILUX, the budget HILUX that, well, kind of blew the budget. But I tell you what, guys, no one's going to be complaining when you see how much gear's on here. If you haven't signed up, first month is on me. I'm going to let you sign up for free this month so you can win the Luxy. If you've already signed up, you're a legend for a start, and it means you're going to have double or triple entries into winning the Lux. The longer you're in the Dream, the better your odds. The front end's done, guys. Onca bar, light force spotties, carbon winch, GME aerial up front. We got the ROH wheels, BFG all-terrains, 2-inch Dobinson lift. We got the MSA towing mirrors in case you want to get excited and tow behind this thing. It's fully bush wrapped, guys. Brown Davis long range tank. We got the Rhino Man canopy on the back. We've got the very first ever Explore Life awning. That's a collector's edition. And we told you it was going to be Cape York ready, and we're not mucking around. Red Arc dual battery system, guys. MSA drawers, drop down slide, Dometic fridge tucked in there, all built by the team at EC Off-Road. They know what they're doing. So if you want to get involved, grab yourself a package. First month's on me. To everyone else that's already involved, you are a legend. Appreciate the support. Anyway, back to the boys. We're loading up. What do you reckon, Rhino? Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out here. Look at this.
Have a look at it.
We're at the most scenic lake in the Gold Coast, and look at the water.
I can literally,
glass out.
I can literally see all the mountains reflecting in this. It looks insane.
I think we should go home.
I'm going home. I'm not even hopping in the boat. I'll push you out. So this is us for the Arvo. We're going to go for a wake surf. The girls have never wake surfed, so they're learning this afternoon. The water's actually pretty good temp considering we're in May.
Surprisingly warm.
It's nice. So we'll load the whole crew in. Everyone's coming. Little Arvo surf session. A couple of cold beers. Job done. Let's enjoy it. You beauty. All right, well, how good's that? Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what car you've got, doesn't matter what boat you've got. Being out on the water, mucking around in a tube or with a wake skate, watching the sun go down like that really is as good as it gets. If you've never been up here, do yourself a favor, get up to Moogs. Doesn't matter what you got, even if it's a jet ski, it's a good weekend. You can camp right on the water here. You can see a sunset like we just seen, which at one point there, we just turned the boat off, had a beer, watched that sun. It was absolutely incredible. So we're gonna get the fire going. We're gonna cook up some tacos. We're gonna kick back, we're gonna enjoy it. Now this is what it's all about, a bit of camping. So, what a day. What a day. You can't get this smile off my face, I tell you. Fire time. Good morning, Moogerah Dam. Woke up this morning, absolutely gorgeous little sunrise coming up over the mountains. Full foggy lake this morning, glass off. We just grabbed the Lightning. We're just gonna drop the other boat in for a quick run. She is a spanker from MASTERCRAFT. So we're just gonna do a little water test on it. And then we'll probably end up having another morning surf, and we'll be good to go. So we're gonna get this boat in the drink. Let's have some fun. Mate, we're out on the MASTERCRAFT. She's a little bit flash, I'm not gonna lie.
We're in the XT23, so yeah, this is one of the higher spec models that MASTERCRAFT offer. And as you can see, it's got more technology than your lounge room.
Yeah, it's pretty out of control. I didn't know how to use it. But once you start playing with it, it's literally, it's all self-explanatory. Simple to fill ballast, nice and quick. Quick being able to change from left to right on a surf, which I absolutely froth. We're gonna get out on the foil today and embarrass ourselves, so stay tuned. Wouldn't be a Moogerah trip without a quick little jump off the rocks. Oh, what a spot. I think this is probably the best conditions I've ever had at Moogerah. It is an absolute glass out, no other boats. We're supposed to be heading home today, but I tell you what, I might have to call the boss.
You still gotta wait for the car to charge, mate, so let's just call it in. Where's the esky?
It is rude to leave on a day like this, but we're gonna surf back to the bank, pack her up, and we're gonna see if we can make it home, because right now, we are this close to not making it home on the charge, but I really don't want to stop at a charger on the way home. I think we can do it in one go. Let's head back and see how we go. Unfortunately, on this magic day, we're actually heading home to the office. What a joke. But we got the two boats on the back. The last leg of the tow test is, can we get home? So we're gonna load the crew up now. I'll run you through how many kilometers we think we have left after the charge last night. I reckon we're gonna stop at a pub on the way home, just quietly. A little bit of lunch. After lunch, we'll make it home, if we can make it home. Let's find out. All right, well, we are on the road. I unplugged it this morning when we dropped the other boat in for a little test drive. Hindsight, I wish I'd actually plugged it back in just to get that couple of extra hours. It charged it up to 63%. It's saying we've got about 140 kilometers of range, which we're gonna need every single bit of that. It's about 130 kilometers to home. So to say this one's gonna be touch and go is an understatement. We've sort of done the worst of the worst here, guys. We've got the heaviest boat you can put behind this. We've got the 35-inch tires, which are really seeming to make a difference. You lose about 20% of your power straight off the bat. I was only using a 10 amp charger. We did that because you can find a 10 amp charger absolutely anywhere. 10 amps charges at 2.4 kilowatts, whereas if we had a 15 amp charger, which we do have at home in the shed, that will charge at 3.6 kilowatts. So if you've got access to a 15 amp lead, you can plug it in and charge a lot quicker. We did have a 15 amp plug available there, and it would have been really interesting to see if I had to put it on the big charger, but we've gone worst case scenario. When it comes to electric vehicles, guys, there's at least 2 between here and the Gold Coast before it starts to get really busy and populated, where there's lots of chargers. You've got different charging banks. Some range from very slow, like at a shopping centre you can get free ones that are quite slow, to a 50, 75, 100, 125, and I think the biggest, the superchargers are about 150 kilowatts. Those sort of charge stations is where you can really stop for half an hour, put another 20-30% in your car and get back on the road. So cross your fingers, cross your toes. We're gonna see if we can get this thing home without having to stop at a charger. Oh, we made it. We've made it back to RCM Marine, Rhino's shop. He's got the MASTERCRAFT here, he's got the Benningtons here. We have made it back with this much to spare. I'll run you through the stats in a minute. Rhino's not far behind me, he couldn't keep up. Let's wait till Rhino gets in. We'll see how much fuel he's used, and I'll let you know how much range we got left. Happy days, we're here, we made it. You beauty, no stopping for charges. Now, I don't want to brag, Rhino, but we made it back here first, mate. I don't know if you stopped to fuel the car up or if you got lost, but we're here. We're number one. At the end of the day, I don't know if Rhino knew it was a race, but we'll take the victory. One for the Lightning.
We just pulled back up to RCM HQ. Look, we actually did pretty good. I got 129 Ks left, averaged about 30.1. So, look, I didn't get to drive the Lightning, but I was pretty sold on this thing.
Yeah, look, I beat you back, that's all I'm going to say, but I probably don't have as much range as you do left. I reckon we're going to jump out now. We'll leave Rhino with the boat so he can clean them up, and I'm going to go fill this thing full of fuel, find out how much it cost you to run this versus us just plugging it in up there.
Well, hey, this didn't cost me anything, and I hope you run out because he's left me 2 dirty boats. So.
All right, happy days, guys. If you are chasing a wakeboard boat or if you're chasing a pontoon boat, the link is in the description. Get down there, check out the MASTERCRAFT, check out the Benningtons. As far as wakeboard boats go, it is the creme de la creme, and fingers crossed next year, mate, I'll be coming down for a black and silver one for the Explore Life.
We can make that happen.
Happy days. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
So to say we were down to the wire, well, we were getting pretty bloody close. We made it with 18 kilometers left. We did pass about 3 pretty quick charges on the way home, but we wanted to see if we could make it back, and we have. So if you were coming home now, the boat would be going in the shed, the car would be getting plugged in. If we disconnect the boat trailer now, because I still need to get back to my shed, we've gone back up to 38 kilometers in range. So as soon as you disconnect that boat, the range is obviously far better. 38 Ks is more than enough for me to get from here, we're in Mollendina, back down to Burleigh. So all in all, guys, can you take a MASTERCRAFT from the Gold Coast to Moogerah and back? The answer is yes. We had the biggest tyres, we had the biggest boat on the back, and we had the slowest charger. We had the 10 amp charger, not the 15 amp charger. We didn't stop on the way there and we didn't stop on the way back. So as far as I'm concerned, mission accomplished. So let's find out just how much fuel he used in the big Rebel. Then we'll be able to do a couple of comparisons and who this vehicle might suit if you like towing. Righto, we made it. We're back at Explore HQ, guys. The Lightning made it. The Ram made it, guys. It was a fun weekend. At the end of the day, we just wanted to go out there and have a little bit of fun and find out how this thing goes as a towing machine. Now, in all honesty, this thing is a dream to tow with. That is no exaggeration. The one pedal feel is incredible. The amount of torque this thing has, you really don't even know that you've got the boat behind you. So, what is this good to tow? Can it tow 3.5 ton? Absolutely, piece of cake. Big caravans, big boats, no dramas. However, there is a drama. One little drama is you do run into a range issue. So if you're looking at using this to tow your big boats, big caravans, you just need that little bit of extra planning, and you really need to know your distances. Now, when you jump over into the Ram, we ended up using 88 litres of fuel, which cost us $186. So this one's back here now. I'm gonna back it into the shed, put it on charge, no dramas. This one cost us nearly 200 bucks in fuel. At the end of the day, guys, I really feel like this vehicle is gonna suit someone who doesn't travel too far from home. If you're going to and from work, and then let's say you're living here on the Gold Coast, you want to tow the big wakeboard boat up, drop it in the Broad Beach, drop it in the canals, and you're only going, you know, no more than 200 kilometers from where you are back to home. Perfect. If you want to do those long distance touring trips, this really is not the vehicle for you. They're not there yet. The range is not 100%. One recommendation would be to leave it on a set of 33-inch tyres. I wouldn't go up to the 35s. You don't have enough range to play with. You're always going to want more range, I would say. So I'd be dropping it down to 33s, programming it in for your specific trailer. Look, maybe you don't even have the trailer. Maybe you're just putting the dirt bikes on and you're heading away for a fun little weekend. It can do it. It's just limited to how far you can go and come back, unless you're going to sit there for a couple days. So it all comes down to planning, guys. Look, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on the electric car. Let us know if there's any other tests that you would like us to do. Till next time, get out and enjoy the Explore life. You beauty.